Welcome to this video. Yes, a rapid game. Yeah, originally I planned to produce a new viewer game video, but I did not manage time-wise. But I can fit in this this rapid game because I really wanted to upload something in addition to the daily Blitz videos. So this 15-minute game is possible. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we get a King's Indian here. Okay. Playing Bonden. It's got no name. Wow, he's got a ton of games played. Huh? Quite an experienced account, let's say. Okay, so yeah, he goes for c5. So we won't get a typical King's Indian structure with e5. In fact, he retransposed to the Maroczy Bind, which is normally arising either from the Sicilian. It is belonging to a Sicilian traditionally, but quite often comes from one c4 or one knight f3. In this case, it comes from a King's Indian. Yeah, many roads lead to Rome. In this case, to a typical Maroczy Bind position. Yeah, black. Yeah, bishop d7 or takes on d4 are the moves. In that case, I like to play knight to c2, an old favorite of mine. It looks a bit strange to voluntarily withdraw this knight from the center, but White's idea is that in general he has more space. Black is lacking space here. He's confined to this 3 ranks, and yeah, quite often it is a good idea to keep as many pieces on the board as possible in this kind of scenario. This is why I did not want to trade the knight on d4 and withdrew it voluntarily. Okay, rook e8. This is kind of a, yeah, almost like a nothing move that is not doing very much. Sometimes black is a bit afraid that queen a5 is going to be answered by knight d5 with a discovery, so that he covers e7, but I'm not sure that this is important here. Rook b1 is a good versatile move. It removes the rook from the long diagonal and also prepares move like b4 sometimes in answer to queen a5. If I play b4 now, he might have knight to e5 though. This looks a bit uncomfortable. Still, b4 is a good move in case he goes knight c5. Interesting. Yeah, what is it that I can do? I can play a move like knight d5, for example. That wouldn't be bad. Just centralizing. That is also a reason why rook b1 is often useful. It covers the b2 pawn. Yeah, let's see what he's doing. Sometimes they go for f5 in this type of position. Just to kind of, it's a kind of I want out move, f5. Yeah, maybe. It doesn't really fit with rook e8 though. One constant problem, let's say, for black is that this knight will be put on d5 invariably, and well, then you sit there as black and kind of think, okay, I cannot tolerate this piece, but if you take it, yeah, like in this case, he gives up the bishop pair, yeah, it's not really that welcome to give that up. What am I doing now? Actually, both recaptures are quite good. Even c takes d5, which is not so typical, is quite interesting here. Takes knight e5. Yeah, his knights are standing on each other's toes. I don't think I can take a7. This is going to be answered with b6. So let's say cd5, knight to e5, bishop a7. He's got b6 and he will trap the bishop. This looks kind of ugly. I can, however, play c takes, knight e5, and then any move, let's say, not taking on a7. Typically, however, e takes d5 is even the better choice. I'm going to do that. Long term, this intends to put some pressure on the e file, which is really long term here, because I have the e file completely crowded with bishops, and it's not so easy to untangle. One problem, however, is that his knights are a little bit, yeah, this is all a little bit misplaced. f4 now is the threat. I played b3 to cover the c4 pawn. So this is a very stable structure now, a typical pawn chain, a2, b3, c4, d5. That's very neat. And well, the simple idea is f4 and the knight is history. Yeah, let's see what he's doing. Sometimes you can play the f-pawn to give the knight the f7 square, but in this particular case there is no light squared bishop anymore, so f5, knight d4 looks really ugly. And well, ugly is really bad, let's say. It looks bad. So what is he doing? Yeah, something like this. This does make quite some sense. Okay, if I play f4 now, he gets the e4 square, which is not very helpful. So let's see, what are we going to do? Knight to d4, simply centralizing this. This cannot be bad, so let's not invest tons of time. Black is confined to very little here. One possible counterplay is a6, b5, trying to attack my chain here. But I'm on b5 with the bishop, the pawn, and the knight. That's very difficult to play. Yeah, it seems like he tries anyway, but tricky. One idea now is also b4. I could just play for that. b4, c5 now. b4. Yeah, that's not bad at all. If I go f4, knight d7, I really give up the e4 square. I don't like that very much. But okay, I'm in a situation here. Absolutely, he cannot do much in terms of activity. Let's think about this. What do I want to do? It's a very comfortable situation. Yeah, it's a situation where he has no pawn break. b5 is bad, e6 opens up the position for my bishops, f5 is dreadful. So he's confined to shuffling pieces around. He doesn't have any positive plan, let's say. Well, I can try to push the queen side. Yeah, I think I'm going for that. Yeah, let's prepare this. b4, c5. This is the main plan. I have some ways to prepare this business. I don't need to do this right away. Moves like, let's say, bishop f1, bishop f2, securing everything a little bit is they are possible. And we should never forget that in the meantime he has to play some moves. And sometimes in a situation where there's nothing active to do, the defending side here, black, tends to do something to worsen the position. A move like f5, let's say, or e6. It's difficult to just stay put. What he can try, in order to slow down my queenside play, something like a6 to a5. But this gives away b5 forever. So, it's not a happy move. Huh? Yeah, as I said, it might happen that he tries to free himself with some violent action like this. Okay, so let's have a look here. That's an interesting situation, because we definitely can try to punish him for that very, very directly. Let's say I go b4. b4. In case of knight to d7, I can play f4, and his e5 knight is trapped. So after b4 he has to go to a4, after which, let's say, f4, knight d7, d6, fe6, bishop g4 is a possibility. Yeah, that's definitely quite good. If I take on e6 right away, he can take with the knight. Like takes, knight takes e6, rook takes e6. Yeah, that's also kind of okay. Okay, I'm going to start with that move. No big use in pretending I would actually play something else. So, b4, he has to go to a4, knight to d7. f4 is just trapping the e5 knight in the middle of the board. It has absolutely no square. So he has to go to a4. There's no big choice here. Unless I'm overlooking some tactical defense. I don't really think so. Maybe you can think about e takes d5, like e takes d5, bc5, dc5, and my knight is attacked, and after it moves like d4. That's very hard to believe. Let's have a look though at knight to a4. Is there maybe even something better than just f4 and capture business? f4, knight d7. There's no direct win though. I mean, it's not like I'm winning immediately. f4, knight to d7. d, e, fe, bishop g4. Bishop g4, knight f8 or something like that. Yeah, it's not brilliant for black, but I wonder if it's the best continuation. I can also start with the capture on e6. I'm not sure if it is any difference. Yeah, this f4 bishop g4 business, it has one, yeah, it weakens a little bit. It has some, yeah, it does weaken a little bit. I'm not totally sold on the idea. Especially e4 is weakened by this. f4, knight d7, d, e, fe, bishop g4. And I'm weakening c4 in case he returns to knight to b6 there. Yeah. That isn't so clear at all. It might be good for me, but it's not like completely simple or in any way a super big advantage, something like that. Okay, I'm going to start with that. It should be still right. However, after his retreat, he has to go to d7, I believe. Unless there is some tactic, yeah. I'm a bit vulnerable here on the e-file, but I don't think there's something happening. Yeah, knight d7 looks like the only move. My idea was then to take e6 and play bishop to f3. Not go to g4. Maybe I can go to g4, bishop, knight f8. But he doesn't have to play knight f8. He can also play queen f6 or move like that. So knight d7, de6, fe6, bishop f3 maybe. Directly. This is a bit better. Attacking b7. Maybe he can still play knight to b6. Yeah, interesting. Black's position is still pretty sturdy. I'm a bit irritated though that he's taking time here. Why not just knight d7? Or am I overlooking something, like after knight d7 I have a simple win or something like that? I don't think so. kind of curious. Why is he thinking for so long? After knight to d7. I mean, what I can always do is I can insert this queen c2 move or queen d1, simply attacking the a4 knight, but he can go back to b6. I don't really see a huge problem there. Yeah, so he finally played this move. Huh. Am I overlooking something? I'm really a bit mystified by the long thing. But I don't see something great. Okay, let's take there and play bishop f3, simply claiming that I'm better with the bishops, which is not an entirely outlandish assumption. Bishops look good there. Yeah, that move. But I thought bishop d5 check and knight e6 would be quite good. Let's not waste any time there and go in to e6. I will either get the bishop or an exchange. Yeah, the g7 bishop is an important defender of his king position. Sorry for that sound. I needed to... I spilled some of my drink on the desk. Yeah, so knight e6. Yeah, should he give the exchange there? I don't really think he has got any compensation if he plays rook e6. Relatively speaking, yes, the relatively best seems to be a queen move, but it doesn't look good. I can also take b7 at the end of that. I'm just seeing that. Yeah, it looks dreadful, really. Yeah, is there something better than just taking there? Fe5, for example. Fe5, queen e5, I play bishop d4 and win the house. If the knight takes, I can play bishop g5 if I like. Yeah, come on, that's useless. I'm just taking the bishop here. Let's not be too sophisticated. There's still b7 hanging, simply. So let's see, do I just take b7 here, or what is best? I take there. It is simple, but also quite convincing. It's a pawn, and I'm taking a6. So it's not just one pawn. If he moves the rook to b or d file, I also have bishop to c6. Oh, I was thinking bishop d4 here. Bishop d4 will win the exchange. Bishop d4, knight e5, bishop c8, rook c8. Then c5, yeah. There is no counterplay really. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take the exchange. Bishop f4 wasn't bad either. And c5. I think this is an important move. After I saw that I have this move, I decided to take the exchange, because this is making sure that the knight on e5 loses its support pawn on d6, which means that this pin on this diagonal on queen and king will be very, very problematic. Also note that the knight on a4 has absolutely no square, so that is not looking good. Yeah, I think this is pretty much resignable. I might be just threatening queen c2. You might have knight f3. Yeah, okay, it's kind of a last hope move. Yeah, if he takes on g2, he has the knight f3, this threat. So let's see. I might just, if I take on d6, yeah, I have a ton of threats on my own actually. Rook c1, rook c1, threatening rook c7 also. Yeah, yes, he really has no dangerous counter attack, mostly because of, I mean, he's material down anyway, and the knight on a4 is totally out of play. So he's hoping for this knight f3 check. Yeah, but I was thinking I can just take e5 actually. Bishop takes e5. He doesn't even have a check. At least I don't see one. Rook c1 check. Rook c1
check.
Yeah. Queen e5, and in this position after queen takes e5, he does not even have a check, not a single one, which means I have one moment here to improve my position. Let's see. Also trading queens would be neat. Do I get this in? I can go give this check there on c7, king g8. It's no direct win. I can go d7 though, yeah. That's definitely possible. But still, don't I have a win? Knight c7 check, king g8. I really have no checks there. I mean, I can... Nah, this is not even helping. Okay, so let's push the pawn.
Black resigns.
Yeah, I was just thinking if I have a mate or something, I should play that, but there wasn't. Yeah, this is fairly typical game from the Maroczy Bind in a scenario where black is suffering a bit of space there. I think after it goes after here and he takes d5, this is a very serious concession. Maybe he has to stay. To be honest, I don't like black's position here anyway because of the big space. I actually prefer it very much, if at all, if I'm at all in this, is black to trade on d4 earlier and make sure that this is he plays out those moves. Yeah, and here the big space advantage is really a problem. Black, as I already said during the live commentary, black is lacking in pawn breaks, and he's playing one, this e6 pawn break, but it only leads to yeah, an opening of the position. Yeah, here the computer gives this move, as I already mentioned during the live commentary. I did not really believe in it, but maybe this is in fact an option. Something like this looks at least kind of tricky. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm pausing this for a moment. Yeah, back. I just started a new examination board that I can examine on my own on. It's always a slightly irritating thing if they put out moves. I really would advise black players to play this move order, making sure that one pair of minor pieces is traded. With a little space, this is a much more convenient way to play. It's this kind of thing here. There are various little move order things, but this kind of position, it is really helpful here for black that one pair of minor pieces is traded. Makes the defense much easier. And here, I mean, it's not like black is lost or anything, but it is more difficult to play. He has a set of minor pieces that is kind of, all those pieces, yeah, they compete for a limited number of squares, and they're kind of stepping on each other's toes. I think start here is totally normal. Yeah, and starting from here, I think he absolutely should not take. I mean, I don't know. I mean, f5 looks really, really weakening and kind of not well in sync with rook e8, but maybe still. At least my rook move is also not perfect here. Yeah, that is slightly better for white, this position, but it's nothing super super special. Yeah, maybe you should still play f5. I think after that I'm definitely better, and I am better with both continuations, both e takes d5 or c takes d5. In fact, I often take with the c pawn in these positions, but this time I wanted to play it differently, like here, and then b3 is a good way to play, covering the c4 square so that f4 is now a threat winning a piece. Black has to play something like that. And again, we have a situation where he's lacking space. White has two bishops, and they both point towards the queen side. Very nice. Just rook c1, for example, and white is just better. It's a simple fact here. The two bishops, black has no compensation for that, and the space. It's also good. This is also good. It's a matter of taste. c5, knight e4. I'm pretty okay with all that. It's interesting. I'm not totally sure about all those moves, if you want rook c1 or not. In the scenario where I play f4 and bishop f3, there might be debatable if you maybe want the rooks on d1 and e1. Yeah, like here and here. That can also be an idea. But I was thinking that b4 c5 is my general plan, especially if he is just doing nothing, which I kind of expected. But okay, he went e6. Tja, you can really argue about b4 now if e takes d5 is a move. Amazing. I mean, okay, what I mentioned already in the live commentary, I can take knight takes, rook takes, and this is still definitely a bit better for white. Still two bishops, d5 is weak, d6 is weak. Yeah, it's a bit better for white, but I wanted a scenario where he has to take with the pawn. But okay, if this is really a move, and it might be, then the b4 move might be dubious. I had this hunch, but I couldn't really believe in it. Yeah, the computer just wants to recapture on d5. Well, this is not what I want, because this is a very undynamic pawn structure, which is not so favorable for the bishops. I'm still liking white, but it's not what I wanted. Let's check though. If I take here, d takes. I have to do that. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes. This is the computer line. It's all based on neat tactics. Very nice. If this wasn't working, yeah. If, but it does work. If I take here, it's a huge mistake.
Check.
So I actually have to go back. c4, knight a5, and something like that. Yeah, this is very tricky. He's got strong advanced pawns, and my knight on a5 is not the best piece ever. Interesting. Computer judges this is equal. Okay. So maybe b4 wasn't super precise then, yeah. I guess I have to do this then, right? Knight a4. Yeah, again, I'd rather be white. But it's not easy at all. Not a clear advantage. It's just a little bit more comfortable. Okay, he went there, and now I went for this space gainer. Yeah, the computer again wants to take on d5. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, this is interesting. Black has 2 pawns, and it's active, so not a bad idea. It's not enough objectively, probably, but better than just suffering, which is kind of happening here. Yeah, okay, I went here immediately. My first idea was this, and but I wasn't sure here. This is, of course, a very sensible alternative. First, trying to push this knight back and then put it on f3, but bishop f3 is good. It just has this very simple idea. And black doesn't have a super great answer to that. Rook c7 maybe. Yeah, after that the computer wants to play bishop g4. It might indicate that bishop g4 earlier was even stronger. But okay, this is we don't need to be very deep here with the lines. This is an open position. Again, with those 2 pieces here, the knight on a4 is offside. I have the better structure. 2 islands against 3. It must be better for white. Comp is on 1.2, so it's quite a bit. After e5, it is, I think, just losing.
Check.
And knight e6, yeah, that's +4. Take. And just grabbing stuff. And c5. Oh, queen d1 is also quite strong, yeah. Okay. But c5 is good. It's destabilizing this knight after c takes. Bishop takes.
Check.
Yeah, d7 is even it even leads to a mate. The comp sees a mate in a couple of moves. Yeah, okay, I get the new queen, and as mentioned, he does not even have a check. Even with preparation, it's hard to give one. So there is no hint of counterplay. Yeah, the Maroczy bind, which normally arises from this move order. Yeah, a road to the game position is this. It's exactly the same position, or a different route is something like this out of the English opening, where we get to this also quite logically. This kind of position is something that a white player who plays knight f3 or c4, those kind of openings, should know how to play. And for white, if you play 1e4 and you face the accelerated dragon, it is something that really should be considered. Even if you normally favor, let's say, piece play and attacking play with in the style of the Yugoslav attack, yeah, with bishop c4, long castling. Yeah, even then, even if you do prefer that, studying the Maroczy with c4 is very rewarding. It's a little bit, it's a very comfortable opening for white. And yeah, I'm a bit biased because I have such a huge score with it, but still, it is a good opening. It gives white constantly good results and is normally leading to positions where you have very, very good control and little counterplay to fear. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching.